Hey everybody, I've tried to document how I dehydrate certain foods, and a lot of these things have been turning into powders. So a lot of the conversation has close ties with nutrition, but there's so much more to it than just that. This is one way that we're trying to really incorporate a lot more nutrition into the things we eat. But the conversation also is generally ways that we can eat healthier and ways that we can save money in the process. So it's going to be woven together a little bit, but I do want to show some of these things sort of as one. I'll try to make sure that anything that I talk about here that I have documented is linked, but let's just go ahead and get started. So when I first started dehydrating, I was not doing powders like this. I have dehydrated liver and powdered that, but for the most part, it's other things. And so this process that I've been doing is relatively new within the last year. But I feel like now that I've done it, I'm not going to want to go back to not having food prepared in this way that we can incorporate into what we eat. Basically, when you dehydrate something, you concentrate the food. The flavor gets concentrated in certain ways, but also the nutritional content of it gets very concentrated as well. Now, when I dehydrate food, I do it at a relatively low temperature. It's usually about 125 degrees. And I do that so that my dehydrating process doesn't really cook the food, that it stays in as raw of a form as possible. This particular thing might not be for everyone, and that's okay. That is also part of why I wanted to make sure that this is going to be a broader conversation about nutrition and nutritional content of food. So the first thing I'll show you is cranberry. Now this is two different types of cranberry that I have, and this is dehydrated cranberry and this is freeze-dried cranberry. I don't have a freeze dryer, but I was able to freeze dry some cranberries this year, and obviously I have a dehydrator. The cranberries, there's so many amazing benefits of cranberries. A lot of time recipes for cranberries involve adding sugar or cooking them down, and that does break down some of the nutrients. So by dehydrating them and then powdering them, I can use them in a relatively unaltered state to boost whatever it is that we are using them in. By far, one of the biggest things that we use all of these things in is smoothies. But I am trying to really push the envelope on that to be able to incorporate them in lots of different things and not just a smoothie. As far as the cranberries go, is very bitter. But when you put it in smoothies with cherries and banana, raspberries or blueberries, gives a tartness without it being overpowering. It's such a great addition. And then knowing all of the health benefits coming our way by consuming it in a volume that we really wouldn't be consuming it otherwise. This is beet powder. And I know I documented this one. It's a super simple process that I go through for this. The only thing I wish I had done differently is powdered it more finely. If you can see, there are little granules, which is fine because, again, the original purpose for these was to put in other things where you wouldn't even really know the texture or anything like that. This is purple cabbage, and I love how almost of a lavender color that turned out to be. When dehydrated, it's still very dark, but because of all of the inner fibrous things that are white, it makes a really nice light purple. So what I'll do is I will actually just mix these straight in water. I mix it with an electrolyte. There is stevia as a sweetened flavor in it, and also it's flavored. So I'm getting the flavor of the electrolyte with this, but I really like it. And it's only something that you can try to see if you actually like doing, but it's like vitamin water. So I thought that's a pretty amazing thing. Now, the thing about this not being as powdered as this is incredibly powdered because this came after I started putting it in water. Because there's little granules in this, they don't just disintegrate in water, whereas this completely incorporates. So there is some texture here. So going forward, I'm going to make sure that I completely powder everything. That way it's most versatile. We can obviously keep putting it in smoothies, but we can use it in water as well. There's actually companies now that are making tons of money on products that utilize just real food in powdered form because they've found that people will consume them more or are just more willing to bring it into their daily routine if it's pre-packaged, pre-done, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this does take work, but I know where these things are coming from. I can choose to buy them from an organic farmer. I can get them from a farmer's market. I could get them from any grocery store I want. It's whatever a person's comfortable with. And yes, I need to do work, but I know where it's coming from. So that's part of it. These companies that are packaging these things, it's the same type of process. And they just put it in these little packages and they call them like your greens or your reds or different things that are meant to boost health at certain points in time. Let me show you quick what I do for that water. Now, this is the Redmond Real Salt Company, and they have a good salt product, and we just usually have these electrolytes. And I swear, I use way less than the measurement calls for. So in about 1 cup of water, I add my electrolyte, and then I add half of a teaspoon of beet powder. And half of a teaspoon of the cabbage powder. And all you have to do is look at those videos to see how much things break down. Like, that's so much cabbage and beets just in that. And you wouldn't even have to use that, but look at that. Isn't that amazing? And I feel like this is the kind of thing, I feel like I'm on some sort of like, I don't know, QVC showing this. This is actually something that you could put in like kids' sports drinks too, especially if it's finely powdered. And what a cool color. Yeah, I just really like that flavor, but you're gonna have to just try it. The electrolyte that I've been using is the pina colada one. So it's like a pineapple coconut. And then we also have a watermelon lime. That's really good too. But I actually prefer the pineapple coconut flavor with this. So anyway, I love drinking that. It's just a great thing to do. You're literally drinking like veggie water and it tastes amazing. So, and there may be certain flavors that you like over others. That's just something that I found that I personally like to do most days. What's interesting about concentrating food like this is it doesn't necessarily mean you're concentrating the flavor in the same way. So for example, with the greens, you can dehydrate and powder spinach, and when you incorporate it in as a dried green product, it does have a different flavor. And I think that the flavor is more mild, better, and almost more grassy than fresh spinach. Now, this is a combination mostly of different kale as well as collard greens. Collard greens are one of my favorite greens to do this with because the leaves are so big, there's hardly any preparation that you need to do. And kale is great too. The other thing that's really nice about being able to do all of this on your own is it's whatever you feel like you and your family might need, as well as what you have access to. So with this, I have done a lot of combinations. Now, I've documented this at least once, maybe twice, because there's lots of different ways that I've done this, and it continues to be different all the time just based on what I get, but it's completely customizable. If you're able to get a great deal on some spinach, go ahead and do that. You can buy in bulk quantities because it just takes a pretty short amount of time, especially with greens, to dehydrate them, and then you get a great deal on all this nutrition. You don't have to worry about keeping it in your fridge or freezing or it going bad or anything like that. When I go through and I've shown you how I do these different powders, I also show there's some additional steps to take to sort of extend the shelf life so you can get even more out of that. In fact, I really would like to get so where I don't have to be doing some of these things anytime other than when these things are in season. I know when I showed the greens, I ordered an extra large amount of them from our CSA. When I first started dehydrating, one of the really big draws of dehydrating for me has been flavor concentration, because you're able to make onion powders, garlic powders. I've done, hot peppers, things that you can buy also in a store, chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, where you may only use one, but then you can create this amazing, rich, powdered, concentrated flavor product that you can throw in other things. So those kinds of things are really fun. This is salsa that I did, and I did document it. It was an experiment, and this is amazing to have. And I've kind of reserved it. I've used it a few times, but I try to not use it in excess because it's those times when maybe I don't have, not salsa, because I'm not using it as a salsa, but I want that salsa flavor, but maybe I'm low on the seasonings, for example. And so then I'll go to this. So I'm trying to keep this as an incidental to be able to boost things. And this is mushroom powder. This is another thing that is really concentrated flavor-wise that adds an amazing depth. But that really has taken a back seat to all this other stuff. I got some purple cabbage last week because I know there's this, but then this is the last of my purple cabbage here, and this will break down to about this. So we talked about what I have powdered here. I kind of showed the volume difference. This breaks down to about this. The color changes in a really beautiful way. This is also a head of cabbage, head of green cabbage that has not been broken down. I will store it like this. If I'm going to powder it, I'll store it like this just to keep it maybe a little fresher. In theory, if this is airtight, which all of these are, except for the ones that I go in, the ones that I currently have open, then it shouldn't be a big deal. And these are Brussels sprouts. So this is something that we got from our CSA back in November. I wish that I liked Brussels sprouts, but I just don't. And I've tried to make them lots of different times. I love cabbage. I really don't like Brussels sprouts. And so realistically, I'm not going to eat them. So I was thinking that's a great way that I can make sure that I get that in. So I can just powder it and incorporate it into our greens powder. I will incorporate the cabbage as well as the Brussels sprouts into the greens powder. I don't actually have any powdered cabbage right now. I'm completely out. So this will probably be powdered soon, and I will incorporate this before it gets empty. In addition to saving money, like if you're able to find sales and things like that, but the fact that this reduces food waste in and of itself saves money because you've already spent the money on food. I try to use all of these powders as an opportunity to get more fruits and vegetables into my body and in the bodies of my family. It's always something that we can do more of, and so this has just been an amazing tool to just be able to layer that on even more. Is this the only way we get fruits and vegetables? Absolutely by no means. But it's just one of those things that I've done that I feel like has made a really big difference. So if you're at all interested in trying it, give it a shot. It's something that, especially if you stick with, you'll start to, I feel like you'll feel better naturally just with all of that extra amazing stuff that comes from fruits and vegetables. One of the things that we love to snack on is popcorn. But one of the things that we like to put on popcorn is the greens powder. And it also just looks really fun. It changes the flavor in a good way. Like my husband, when he tastes the two, he prefers the green one too. He's like, oh, there's like a different flavor that it adds. And it's not like you're chewing on kale or collard greens. It's not like that. It's different. And it's like, when I said it's almost grassy, I mean that in like a sweet, almost fresh air type of tasty way. At least that's what I think. And we put a little butter on there and salt and the greens powder. It's great. You can add this as like toppings to soups or chilies or tacos. I have just drizzled some of the powder just right on top of the individual portions. It can kind of be like a topping in that way. You can add it to like a salad dressing. If you were mixing up like some olive oil and vinegar, you could throw in some of these vegetables very easily. The cranberry could be thrown in there too. We've put it on sandwiches before, like when we're grilling sandwiches, as a part of like the layering, we'll just sprinkle some of the greens usually in that one right in there. Or sometimes my husband will mix it up with some of like the sauce that he'll put on his sandwich. He'll just mix it right in there. I mean, I could sit here and I could go through all these different ways that we incorporate these things, but really it's going to come down to however you eat, these things can have a place in there. And things that have vegetables don't have vegetables, have fruits, don't have fruits. It's just literally fruits and vegetables that you can always get in your body at the ready that don't require cooking. It doesn't require you to really change the flavor. If you want it to just be more subtle, just hardly put any in. For our smoothies, I do our full Vitamix container, which is like 8 cups. It's usually between 6 and 8 cups. This is a half-gallon container. I'll put in probably the equivalent of up to about a 1/4 cup. That's 4 tablespoons. Because I do 2 big heaping of these, which ends up being about 2 tablespoons per scoop. I'll do a little less and then I'll incorporate some of the other powders, but it's amazing how much you can pack in. It can be great to use for people who sometimes, if kids haven't had a lot of exposures or they've got different food things, texture issues, or whatever, it can be a great way to know that you're getting the nutrition in it. If there's things that you've learned about dehydrating that are able to kind of help you in your daily life in a maybe unlikely way that people might be surprised, please share those in the comments. Thank you for being here as I do this random scattering. It felt random to me. I hope you were able to get some inspiration, at least in some capacity, today on how we can increase the nutritional value of the foods that we choose to put in our bodies. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.